Hey, cool. What's up, y'all? I'm back. I think I'm working this time. Let me communicate this to the people. Make sure I can hear myself. I had pulled it up on YouTube last time, but it, now I got to go on my page and delete this video that didn't work out. Yeah, delete that. No, not that. Never mind. I'll delete it later. Uh, cool, man. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Trying to make sure I am live and y'all can see me. What's going on my YouTube page? Mm-mm. What's up? Can y'all hear me now? Does it sound better now? That's the old one. I'm just trying to make sure I'm live. Go to your channel. Mommy's downstairs, fam. Cool, man. It's been a long week, y'all. It's been a long month. It's been a long month. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting over a stomach bug and feeling a little bit better, but that just started today. So it's Friday, man. Y'all pour y'all up a drink. I went 3 cups on it this time, although I'm not drinking on anything tonight, since I'm just kind of getting over this stomach bug and everything. Uh, just some, I got some tea in there, but yeah, I appreciate y'all support. I apologize for the technical difficulties, and we're gonna get into it. I'm trying to get my energy up. I'm so tired. It doesn't. I'm super tired, but I wanted to talk to y'all, of course. Excuse me. The metaverse has been taking over the news. Oh, before we get into that, of course, as y'all know, I'm your boy Al, the neighborhood economist, and you are watching me live on YouTube. This is the neighborhood economist. We're talking about everything business, everything crypto, everything stocks and options. And so, super excited. And for the dopest crypto inspired merch anywhere on the planet, you can visit tickerapparel.com. I'll drop that. Excuse me. I'm gonna put that in the chat just so y'all know what it is. That's tickerapparel.com. www.tickerapparel.com. Oh, I gotta turn my bell on. It's not strolling at the bottom. I just noticed that. Ticker. And the cool thing about Ticker, y'all, is with whatever purchase you make, uh 10% of the gross sale will come back to you in the form of satoshis, which is partial fractal bitcoins. And so that's huge. You're not seeing that pretty much anymore. Well, let me pin this comment. Can I pin that? Nope, can't pin it. Thought I could pin it. Or either I can and I don't know how to. There we go. So there, right there, man. Y'all can visit tickerapparel.com, get your merch. Uh the jacket is coming soon. It's actually, I get a lot of compliments. Anybody who's seen it online has hit me up and was like, bro, when the jacket's gonna be online. I as soon as I start working 1,000,000 hours. No shade November. It's rough out here. Beard is just looking any kind of way, but that's what happens in no shade. So shout out to all the guys that's doing it for the no shade November. And yeah, y'all pull up a chair. It's gonna be a good time. Metaverse stuff is wild. We're gonna focus heavy on the metaverse. We're gonna also talk about just the terminology in crypto, some of the stuff that I find interesting. And let me go back on Instagram real quick and just holler at them, let them know I'm back live with sound. Uh People will come in, they're like, hey bro, you ain't got no sound. My wife was telling me too, but hey, what's up, y'all? Back on YouTube with audio technicalities, technical difficulties out of the way, so the sound is A1. Y'all come check me out. I know y'all woke. It's Friday night. You definitely woke. So y'all come check me out on YouTube. We live right now. We're talking about the metaverse, talking about crypto. We're talking about business. Tap in. All right, cool. Uh, Now that we got that out of the way, so this whole metaverse thing, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna share my screen a little bit in a little bit. And so when it really popped off, and of course, Facebook has changed their name to Meta, and they're finna pioneer the metaverse. So there's gonna be a centralized version and then a decentralized version. And so let me just stop. I know I've talked about this before in a previous one, but decentralization is gonna be key, is one of the key components of the crypto culture, just really anti-establishment, anti-big government. And I actually think it's going to be one of the things that helps create a more fair and equitable economy, especially for black folks. Because inherently, I mean, there's going to be some bias everywhere, but the way that decentralization is supposed to work is that rules are established, and then these rules are going to be verified by these computers. And so it's not really relationship based as much, although we're people, so relationships are important. But just from a fairness standpoint, uh I think that could be huge. Now, in terms of the metaverse and what's happening, you got Facebook. This is going to be a couple of years in the making. Now, this stuff is going to speed up fast. I tell people all the time, with every technology, the adoption rate picks up faster. And so with the internet, when we came online, mid 90s, late 90s, Americans had to get computers. Now we all have computers and mobile devices, and so everybody's online. So crypto has gained steam so much, and actually it's still early in terms of the industry. But one of the reasons that it could be easily adopted is because essentially everybody's already online. So the devices and things you need to access crypto you already have. For most people, it's just like a knowledge gap right now, trying to understand what am I putting my money into, which is important, which is another reason why you're here. And since you're here, go ahead and smash that like button and hit the subscribe button and notification bell in that order for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Cost you absolutely nothing to do it. And so it's the three people on here. So I need all three of y'all to go hit the like button. I'd appreciate the love and support. So getting back to decentralization in the metaverse, you're gonna have Facebook's version. Facebook's version is gonna be centralized. You're gonna be able to make a ton of money, but Facebook, the company, is gonna provide the governance and the rules on how to conduct business and operate. Now, I've already talked to a lot of people. Well, some, I'm not gonna say a lot of people. I talked to some people, and obviously there's some apprehension about the metaverse and like having some sort of goggles or shades on for an extended period of time, how that's going to affect the brain and mind control, and all those things are legitimate concerns. And so I know some people who won't be hopping in right away. I'm not one of those people. I'll be getting in the metaverse immediately. And the reason for that is from an economic opportunity standpoint. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not social media right now already has its hangups, and that's why Facebook has been getting so much flack. You've had several whistleblowers come out that said that Facebook was aware that the adverse impact that Facebook and Instagram was having on teens and adults. More people are having more suicidal thoughts. More people are wanting to go get plastic surgery. All this stuff is because of social, and people are posting fake Photoshop pictures where it's like that's not really them. And so people are concerned that the metaverse is going to step it up a level, and to a certain extent, it will. But if you go in with a plan, it's going, you know, and that's another reason to be here. And I'm still learning as well. Like this whole metaverse thing, the thought of having virtual real estate, it's kind of mind blowing to me a little bit. But we're here. It makes sense, but for a lot of people, they don't that don't make sense. Like, okay, so I got virtual real estate. I'm gonna put a house on it, and somebody's gonna live in the house. Yeah, that's actually gonna happen. They're creating a digital virtual world, and people will be more plugged into it than you think. Uh, right now it's still like super early. So I'm gonna switch over to YouTube in a second to kind of show y'all some of the Decentraland gameplay. Of course, Decentraland, and I think there's one or two others metaverses that are out there that people are like actively playing in. But if you go to the metaverse now, like the Decentraland, so that's one of the more popular like crypto powered metaverses. And so if you go there right now, or we go to YouTube and you see people playing, like they don't bump into other people in the metaverse that much yet. But I think at some point that's gonna pick up. Now, so what we don't currently have to really make the metaverse as entertaining or as viable is the device, is the glasses. So we do have some of those big 3D goggles. Nobody's wearing that for 2 or 3 hours for them, unless you're a kid and you just love it. And but this is who this is going to be geared toward. Just like when I was in college, social media, Facebook specifically started off as a college like connection thing, and then it morphed into what it is today. So if you didn't have in Facebook's earlier days, and some of you can attest to this, in Facebook earlier days, if you didn't have a .edu email address, you actually couldn't even get a Facebook account. It had to be whatever your school, university email address was just to get on Facebook. And of course, like I said, it morphed into, $1 trillion company. All that being said, let's look at the gameplay. Uh Let me see here. I'm gonna pull something up. I thought I had a. Let's see.
through the DAO
to add more
to add
land.
more land.
All right, let me share my screen so you guys can see what's going on, and make that bigger. All right, cool. So what we're about to watch now is a guy exploring the metaverse. You can kind of see, and this is Decentraland. So this is the main crypto powered, or one of the main crypto powered metaverse. And before I give my take on the graphics, which I may have already, but we'll watch a bit of it, kind of go through it. I'll pause here and there, just to provide some commentary, and we'll work our way through it.
Here on the
MetaKey
MetaKey channel.
For
For
those of
those
you
of you
who
who
are
are
maybe
maybe
Decentraland
Decentraland
beginners,
beginners,
Decentraland is a
Decentraland is a
metaverse
metaverse
that
that
is
is
essentially
essentially
run and
run and
operated
operated
independently.
independently by different landowners. Each one of these lands is an NFT that somebody owns, and if you own that NFT, then you can build on it. And that's the way a lot of these metaverses are. And there's a lot of different things that go into each one. So each metaverse I find is very segmented. Each one has its own purpose, has everything, that makes its community excited about being in that dimension. Decentraland is, I would say, one of the spearhead metaverses. It really came in at such an early stage and is one of the most developed metaverses, if not the most developed. And so, with that, so much has already happened here. We're talking about entire communities here. We're actually in the midst
What y'all think about the graphics?
cutting
Graphics looking
through
kind of
the VS.
looking
Okay,
kind of
we're gonna
sketchy,
get
huh?
right to the skills that
At least at the moment, like
you need to
it's
learn to
not
be
Grand Theft
efficient.
Auto.
Okay, the first thing I want you to do, and actually this is going to unveil a very new feature in Decentraland that I've just discovered today. I want you to go ahead and make it rain. Press the number 6. You're going to see money
Start to fly. Let's make it rain, people.
Here we go. This is what it's about, people. That's right. And if you want,
Oh
you
wait,
can just give yourself a round of applause. Press 5
and
and go ahead and make some noise. Go ahead and press 5.
See, now we got these new.
okay, so that's a good place to kind of pause.
So
You guys can kind of see what's going on here.
We can communicate
Uh,
through email.
Quick pause. So I mean, when I was younger, I played video games quite frequently. I don't really play them much now, but this right now, it doesn't seem that appealing. But I think over time, I mean, like anything, the first iteration of anything. So this is the first iteration of the metaverse. And so think of regular Nintendo or Atari if you're old enough to remember those things. But ultimately, like the first of anything, it's gonna be like good for that era. But when you look back on it, it's choppy. But when you look at this, like given all the advancements, the Xbox One and the what PlayStation we on now? PlayStation 5? I guess it's PlayStation 5. But yeah, like when you look at those graphics and how real that looks versus what you're looking at on your screen right now, that may give you some reservation. Like, dog, I'm not playing that. Another thing you have to understand that's important about all this, it's not necessarily about what you would engage in. When you look at an investment opportunity, it's I mean, you want to like it, you want to understand it. Uh, if you use the product, great. That's just gonna help you understand better what you should be doing, understand the business better. But in this particular instance, if you never enter or play in the metaverse, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't be a participant of the economic gains that can come from the metaverse. So I think that over the next, let's call it 3 to 5 years, you're gonna see explosion happen in the metaverse. So when Apple drops their glasses, and they will eventually, Facebook is gonna come out with some glasses, and that's also part of Facebook's larger picture. Facebook has trying Facebook for, I don't know, I'm gonna say about 5 to 7 years has wanted to detach itself from Apple, and this is an opportunity for them to do that. So with Apple guys, they charge I think a 30% fee for any products that are sold through the app store. So if you have an app that has in-app purchases, for every dollar that's being spent on your app, Apple is getting 30 cents of that dollar, because Apple and Samsung and Google, but because Apple primarily like really owns the smartphone marketplace, these companies hadn't been able to detach themselves from Apple. And I think Facebook believes the metaverse is the future, but it's also a way for them to detach their business model from Apple's device. So to enter into Meta, the metaverse that Facebook is building, Facebook is going to have a its own headset. And they already have it actually. It's Oculus, the VR headset that they purchased the Oculus company for a couple of billion some years ago. And so over time, they're going to continue to develop that. And I think what you're going to see is Facebook's goal is to not have any of their platforms, to the extent that they can control it, associated with Apple. That they're gonna want everything to be housed on their goggles or on their glasses, whatever spectacle device they'll be using. Which makes sense, right? If you can take back 30% of your revenue, that's gonna be huge. But I think that's part of Facebook's overall plan. Okay, anyway, we'll let the video run a little bit more. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm
Notes.
gonna fast forward through it a
Now
little
you
bit.
can press one run easier on your computer, but you do need to optimize your settings.
On the
On the
bottom
bottom
right
right
hand
hand
corner,
corner,
you
you
can
can
go
go
here.
here.
You
You
can
can
actually
actually
click
click
the first setting you're going to want to change.
Like right now, it
and
just
that
seems like
actually
nothing
is
I don't
not
really
in the
want to play.
cog.
I'm gonna
And
be
this is
honest with you.
actually really
I'm gonna invest though.
is that you can actually see there those stars
I
in the
thought about
sky. You
like
see that
hopping on here with my
star?
son and trying
And you
to
see that
create something
star? Those
and
bright
figure it
lines
out,
with the
because
four
this looks
corners
like
on them.
something he'd enjoy.
Those are actually indicators of north, south, east, and west. So south is green. There's all these different levels. You have to kind of tweak it around. You can always go
But
to
the
graphics
graphics are
volume, go
just
ultra,
nah.
custom, tutorial right
I'm,
here.
I'm
These three dots.
underwhelmed
You can hit a tutorial,
by the
and of
graphics in the
course these
metaverse.
settings right
But
here. Those are the
what you have
essential
to
things.
understand, this
And
part of
there's
it's gonna
another
get
level of
better.
settings. There's
What
two areas I want
what
to
you
tell you.
should be
Number
focused
one,
on
the
from a
settings
business
for
perspective
what
is how
makes
you make
you.
money
So if you click
in the
the circle
metaverse.
at top with your head, you can actually go here and change your about section. So you can edit it. You say music.
Hold up, let me look at something. I want to show y'all something else. Let me escape out of that. You know what? I'm gonna try to find the Winklevoss twins uh metaverse uh building. Oh, Winkle- so for those of you who don't know who the Winklevoss twins are, essentially, if you've seen the story about Facebook, these guys alleged that Mark Zuckerberg, the current founder and owner of Facebook, stole Facebook from them. And it's rumored that Facebook settled with them for like $65 million. Now they're huge crypto investors and they became billionaires anyway. So all's well that ends well, I guess. Where are these guys? It's a building. I was watching a video about Decentraland, and these guys got like this huge building in their joint. So depending on what station or what YouTube channel you watch, uh, we'll go to this one, see what
So
happens.
last week was dominated by.
Hold on. Stop real quick. Let me go full screen. So one thing I wanted to mention, you guys, depending on what uh there's gonna be a couple of ways to make money in the metaverse. So it's gonna be the crypto, the coin or the token that powers the metaverse. So Decentraland has mana. And I think, like I said, over the next 4 or 5 years, mana's gonna be solid. It'll probably have a nice pump in this last part of the crypto bull run. But personally, I mean, I don't own any now. I'll probably be kicking myself in a couple of months. But when the next crash, when the next bear market happens, that's when I'm working on my retirement package. That's ultimately when I'm trying to get to the point where I can find my employer. If not before then. But with all that being said, you'll have the coin. So you'll be able to make money on the specific coin that powers or that's used as a exchange of value in that particular metaverse. In the case of Decentraland, it's Mana, and then Facebook has Diem, and then you'll be able to own land within the metaverse. And so maybe I can land for sale in the metaverse. Land for sale in the. Okay, so we're gonna look at virtual land and
massive move upwards, and people have put their attention to Bitcoin
his
and Ethereum.
audio is terrible.
Complicated. There's Binance here, there's Matic here. Where we're standing at the moment, this red dot is Kraken here. There's another big cryptocurrency.
I was trying to see if I share my screen so you guys can see what's going on. But I was trying to see. This video is talking about virtual land investing, but
Companies have set up
I don't know. He's
shop.
talking about that much.
Recently sold was this 45 piece.
And it's
And it's
connected
connected
to
to two
districts.
So this is one
district.
district which is called Battlegrounds District, and this is where Ethermon is going to be deployed, and this is Kingdom Dragon Kingdom.
So these are plots of land that he's looking at. I don't know that they're for sale
It's sold for
though.
146,000 USD, which was 1.25 million mana. Takes the average for land per price per land to about 28,000 mana, and people kind of think of it differently.
Wow,
Whether they be accumulating mana, whether they be accumulating
28,000 mana. Just so y'all know, when this guy made this video, so he made this video at the beginning of the year, January the 11th, and he said at this time there was a plot of land that cost 28,000 mana, and this stuff works. It's wild, y'all. It works a lot like the real world in terms of location is key in real estate. So these bigger blue blocks, you guys see are gonna be like more places, more cool and hip places So the bigger color blocks, not just the blue ones, but the bigger color blocks, and then you see those yellow kind of markers. Those are gonna be like centralized locations where there's gonna be more activity taking place, and so land around those places tend to cost more. Now he said this one plot of land he hovered over was 28,000 mana. So remember, if you guys remember from just a moment ago, I said that mana was the token that powered Decentraland. So the question is, how much how much is mana worth right now? And if I go to Coinbase, at last I checked, it was about $2.60. It's probably more than that now. Let me look it up. Mana, I think up 13%. It's almost $3. So if you're talking about 28, you do the math, 28,000 mana times 28,000 times three. So just round that up 30,000. 30,000 times three is $90,000 for a plot of virtual land. That's gonna be that's if you're like me, the first time you heard it, that's blowing you away. And to be honest with you, right now, I couldn't see dropping that kind of bread on virtual land. Like that's just this stuff is way overpriced. I think in the next bear market, all of this is gonna come down to more reasonable levels, I would assume. But right now, and this is in January before Facebook even made this announcement. All this stuff in terms of the huge explosion and people being interested in it just started happening. So let's listen to them a little bit more.
Sometimes you'll see a sale go for
50,000
50,000
USD for a
USD
place, and you'd
for
be
a
like,
place,
oh,
and you'd be
that's
like, oh,
kind of
that's
cheap.
kind of cheap.
But in
But
terms of
in terms of
mana, it
mana,
was
it
higher
was higher
because the mana
because the
price
mana
was
price
different
was
at that
different at
time.
that time.
People want to
People want to
accumulate mana
accumulate
because
mana
they feel
because
like
they
mana
feel
is
like
going to
mana
go
is
up
going
and
to
go
go up
up,
and go up.
right?
Right.
So I'm
So
going to
I'm going
be
to be
going. I
going.
will
I will
backtrack a
backtrack a
little
little
bit,
bit,
and
and
we'll get
we'll
to
get to
this later
this
on.
later
But
on.
just to give you an
Just to give
example,
you an
Axie
example, Axie
Infinity,
Infinity,
Somnium Space
Somnium
today,
Space today,
a virtual
a virtual
reality
reality
world where you can
world where
go
you
in,
can
you
go
can
in, you
download
can download
Steam and jump
Steam and
in
jump in
and
and
own land. And this
See,
is
I,
on
the
Crypto
crypto
Voxel, which is
voxel,
more
which is more a
voxel based
voxel
land,
based land,
Decentraland, which
Decentraland,
I'll
which
be
I'll be
going through
going through
today,
today.
Sandbox.
if you guys are like me now, it's important to understand you have to come at this initially with a business approach and not a man. There ain't no way in hell I be paying that or playing this game. The graphics are terrible. They're taking us back 20 plus years, and you wouldn't be lying. Like I'm looking at it, and like I said, I'm not a huge gamer. I'm not a gamer at all at this stage in my life. But as I look at this initially, like right off the bat, it doesn't excite me. But again, you can't look at it from that perspective to say, okay, would I do it? That's just like you may or may not be a sneakerhead, but that doesn't mean that people aren't willing to pay five, six, seven, 1,000, 1,500 or more dollars for one pair of sneakers. So that's kind of so you can collect now. The more you cherish or enjoy it or engage in that marketplace, the more you're going to likely uh, succeed and have a better understanding of the dynamics of the marketplace. Oh, I gotta come. True. Yeah. So I was just looking at the comments. I don't know if I missed it a little while ago. Yeah. Hey, shout out to my guy Steven Johnson. You're right. Yeah, that is right. So Facebook did partner. We're backtracking a little bit. I missed your comment, brother. But Facebook did. I think they'll let me drop the comment in here. Will they do that? Yeah. So Facebook partnered with Ray Bans. So I know I just interrupted my thought, but I thought that was a great point to make. So Facebook did partner with Ray Bans. Why is that significant? Why is that important? Well, in order to make the glasses or the goggles, well, they're gonna be glasses at this point, more sleek, more comfortable, to make them feel like ordinary shades or ordinary glasses. Ray Facebook is partnered with Ray Ban, and they're gonna make these uh virtual reality, augmented reality glasses, and so that's gonna be huge. He tossing a few coins out there. Now I've heard the sandbox. I've not done my due diligence. I know Mana is huge. I know Axie Infinity. Some Axie Infinity is going crazy. And so from what I understand about that particular metaverse, they've talked about it's like a pay for play. So you join it and you're able to play, but you get paid in that metaverse's token for different objectives you achieve. I'm talking about this on a very high level. That's just my understanding of it. But uh it's gone up from like 14 cent last year. This time last year, Axie Infinity, you can look it up. It was about 14 cent. And it's probably about I think 130, 140 bucks last time I checked. So, had you put 10 grand in there last year, you'd be a multimillionaire right now off of $10,000 on that one. And I truly believe we're just getting started. So there's gonna be a lot of hype going into this last portion of the bull run with a lot of the metaverse and NFT plays. I actually think those altcoins will probably crash the most initially. And then, if the market plays out had the way it's done traditionally, if we go into a 2-year bear market, then that's going to be the opportunity to start accumulating the manas of the world, Sandbox, Axie Infinity, because the metaverse is here. And while it may seem taboo and the graphics seem lame right now, and you won't get an argument out of me about the graphics. Them things are terrible. They're awful, straight up. But that ain't the point. The point is people are going to start playing it. And one thing you guys may or may not have noticed on that one uh Decentraland I was showing you guys, there was a couple of people in there, but I was looking for another video I had in my archive. Well, I didn't archive it, which that was my fault. But the guy was playing and it was like hardly like nobody in the metaverse. And so I say that to say that it's still like it's early in crypto. It's even earlier in the metaverse space regarding crypto and what's going to happen in the metaverse. You have to think of the metaverse as the new social media. It's going to take a little while for some people to get online. People are going to be hesitant. The people who are like, I'm not missing out, I'm not missing this wave, get on there, understand the economics of it, how to, buy land, how to flip land, how to, you know, uh casinos, uh apartments, like all this stuff. It sounds wild right now. It's always wild until it isn't, right? Um 20 years ago, you wouldn't have thought social media would be what it is now. It's attempting to replicate as much of the human connection experience. Right now, everything social media is 2D, right? It's on your phone or on your computer screen on this flat device that you're interacting with it, but there's no real connection. When we hit the metaverse, you're gonna feel more connected than you currently do. And once we get to the ultimate, once we hit that plateau, kind of where we are with social now. On my last video I showed you guys, I think that was the last one I showed you guys, that clip of Ready Player One, I think is the name of the movie about the metaverse. That's the ultimate goal. I'll to think that we'll be there is kind of wild, but man, it's gonna be some next level stuff. But again, it's important that you guys understand crypto, especially black folks, African Americans. We got to get in this space. So right now, I'm working on a meetup in the Middle Tennessee area. We're gonna host some stuff virtually too, but I want people to get together uh because it's gonna be imperative. Because as far as I know, you guys may or may not know, like, so I said this before, I was like a avid skeptic of crypto for the longest because I came from the stocks and options world and I just understood it. And I'm like, what the heck is digital assets? Like that stuff didn't make sense to me. But this is a party we can't be late to. because a lot of people really just started investing in the stock market when President Trump and President Biden started dumping stimulus into the economy. And so everybody had a windfall of extra money. The stock market dipped really quickly and ricocheted back. And so people who invested did well, which kudos to everybody who were in the market and won. Proud of you guys. Happy you were in there. But the money that's being made in this crypto space, the wealth that's being created in this crypto space is the stock market pales in comparison. And I'm a stock guy. One thing we have to understand. So I'm gonna go off on a tangent real quick, but y'all ride with me on this. Listen, you cannot wait for the current authorities in this regime and the current financial system to tell you that it's okay to start investing in crypto and Bitcoin. By the time they give you the okay, they're going to they would have already found their way into the market, pillaged and dominated the value to the point where now it's going to be similar to the stock market. In order for you to get astronomical returns, then you're going to be waiting, you know, 10, 15, probably longer that, well, 20, 30 years like they tell us now. What I find interesting about it, the same people who say, man, it's going to take you 30 years and 20, 30 years for you to be at this level if you consistently invest this amount of money. I actually don't have any issue or quorum with that advice. It's good advice. Long and steady wins the race. Time in the market beats timing the market. We've heard all those sayings and adages, but um it's gonna be important that, how can I say this? This whole thing, because this is the first time in the history of man that I'm aware of. Facts to the comment. uh this is the first time in the history of man that I'm aware of that everyday people like you and I have been able to take a modest investment and generate astronomical wealth. At the same time, now these people who run the current financial system, they invest in these unicorn companies before any of us do. So, and then these companies grow exponentially within about 3 to 5 years. They take them public. They make a crap ton of money. So they get cryptocurrency gains in these small companies within 3 to 5 years. Then the company goes public, and then they tell me and you we need to wait 20, 30 years to live the life and have the money we want. At the same time, they getting the money in 12, 24 months, 3 years, 5 years. But me and you, we gotta wait 30 years. Crypto done changed the game on that. Whew, man, that's huge. You got four, man. Are you still holding your Bitcoin? If you still holding them Bitcoins from $776, man, whew, you killed them on that one. But that was it, man. I think a lot of us, it's just, listen, here's what's wild. You say that, and I'm gonna put this coming back over here. You say that, and what was crazy for me was I dismissed Bitcoin 3 times up until really last year. Still holding. My boy still in there, man. Salome. Salute to the brother. Hey, that's real, dog. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. That's big. That's huge. I think for me, uh, what I didn't do and what I should have done was been a lot more open minded. So I remember in 2013, Bitcoin had a run up. It was like it was like $100, $200. It went from that to like 1,300. Then it crashed back. Like I remember this happening vividly. It was shortly after my son was born. And then I remember 2017, 2018 doing the run up. And what was crazy about then is at that time, we were moving into a new house. And so, you sell your house, you get gains from your house. So I had some to put into the space, but I remember being in my son's karate practice, and people were asking me, and I'm talking about people who don't invest at all, were asking me about Bitcoin. I'm like, man, y'all don't even invest in Apple, and you got the phone. Why would you invest in Bitcoin? That's my thought process at the time. I don't think they understood it. They were just looking for an opportunity to make money. I'm not mad at that. What brought me over to the space is the attractive gains. But now that I understand the technology and what it could mean, especially for African Americans, uh, that's what's got me really excited about the decentralization of it. This, me and my homeboy was talking. I said this on last video. This is one of the largest experiments in group economics we've ever seen. This is people giving value to something, and then a whole community of people getting behind it and literally raising themselves up. Now, Bitcoin specifically, uh, I've not read the white paper, and that's one thing I want to do. I want to get more into fundamentals, reading the white paper, because the more you understand about these projects, the less risk you're taking. Like, you're going to decrease your gap in terms of the risk that you're taking based on your understanding of what you're investing in. There's always going to be risk. You're not going to be able to factor in every single thing that could happen in any specific market, but to the extent that you can dive in, you're going to have more confidence. So even when stuff pull back, and that's what happened with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, uh what do they call it? Bitcoin Maximus. um but the people hardcore Bitcoin, uh it's crazy. People laughed at me for buying Bitcoin in 2016. Now they ask me what's the next move. I bet you the guru. You that guy out here. If you bought it in 2016, you saw the vision essentially for before anybody else saw it, and could really realize it. The thing about it is you still get it. A lot of people are just trying to hit a quick and be gone. Um, but to the extent that you could provide them with some education and some knowledge, that's going to be huge and beneficial. And hopefully, given the fact that you were right on the time and have held throughout that time is huge. And then they're talking about, I ain't gonna, they're talking about Bitcoin in the next 10 years being over. So between now and 2035, I've heard estimates of Bitcoin being over $1 million per coin. Just listen. There's no other gains. I've heard all types of unique strategies that I want to get into. I've heard of people using Bitcoin as a savings account. I'm like, just savings in general. Like, once you hit a certain threshold, uh, in terms of your savings, whether that's 3 or 6 months of emergency stacked up in case something happens to you personally, all the other money, because typically you won't have even a huge expense, should you should have that taken care of in that savings going on. But there's people like literally just having a certain amount of money, the same way you do with your 401k or whatever it is at work, your IRA or whatever it is. There are people who are just every month putting a certain amount of money in Bitcoin. They do it for 20 years. Here's what's wild. Bitcoin has been up. Of course, it's beat every asset class over the last 10 years. It's been up on average 113% every year. If you average it out over the last 10 years, there's no asset class that can say that. And so the beautiful thing about it is it's still not too late for those of you who can't get a full coin, and we weren't fortunate enough to get in here like the good brother, Mr. Steven Johnson. We still got a chance. It's not over. It's not too late. There's so many things happening in this space. It's so fresh. It's so new. You have to understand that the crypto industry, the crypto assets industry, an asset class is a little over 10 years old. When you compare that to something like gold, which have been around for thousands of years, and oil, which has been around for hundreds or thousands of years, stocks that have been around for 100 years, like, we are really, 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 really early. So you still be excited. If you weren't able to buy a whole coin, that's okay. You can still buy fractions of a coin. You can buy some satoshis. Nothing wrong with that. You got to get some skin in this game. Bitcoin, you can play for the long term. Do your due diligence. Don't put up anything that you can't lose. Uh, One of my homeboys, I got to get him on here. My brother Joe Coleman. We were talking the other night about the security portion of it. And so I like to have somebody who's a little bit more versed in it talking about that. We were talking about hot and cold storage, hot wallets and cold wallets. And you know, his mentor that put him onto the crypto space really just talked about the protection being key. Because the thing about crypto, guys, is it's a self-sustaining sovereign uh currency and environment, meaning that you are the owner of yourself. So when they talk about coins being in wallet, just think about it. And I think I said this before in the video. If you have some cash in your wallet or in your pocket, if you lose that cash is gone. Like if the cash is in your pocket, you lose it, it's gone. So the way crypto works, you have it on the exchange. You could take it off the exchange and put it in a virtual wallet like Coinbase and others, and that's called a hot wallet. Or you could take it completely off the exchange and put it in a cold storage wallet, which is essentially like a thumb drive. Like you stick a little device into the side of your computer, you put the crypto on there. There's videos on YouTube. I probably should pull one up on here now so you guys can see it. And people store their crypto that way just because there's so many hackers and people out here. Heaven forbid somebody hit you for your crypto, regardless of how much you have invested or what it's grown to. Like at the moment, there's no FDIC insurance. There's no real regulation around somebody coming to help you get your money back. Like if you get hit, you just get hit. So the security piece is important. A lot of people are, doing some of the largest exchanges just because they feel more comfortable with them. But I also think the next iteration and growth stage of crypto is going to happen when it's going to have some centralization. I think people are going to want it to be a little bit easier to protect it. People are comfortable with their money in the banks now. But one thing I said I really like about it, especially as an African American, like we have our money in banks. These same banks don't give us business loans, and like it's a lot that goes into it. But with crypto, a lot of it is just collateral based. It's not even credit score based. So if you have a certain amount of Bitcoin, you can get a loan against the Bitcoin. Like nobody's going to ask you a question. It happens. Smart contract is there. If your repayment schedule, all this stuff is set up, if things don't happen accordingly, they just snatch the collateral, and that's that on that. Even with the bank now, you can have collateral, but you still got to tell this story about how you're gonna manage the money and how you're gonna pay it back. uh what we got? Don't trust any exchange transfer. Most important coins are hard wallet. Like, yeah, that my homeboy was telling me. That's what he was telling me. No exchange, because there's issues. Let me go on him. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up on YouTube so y'all can see. We over here. We done got into the protection of it. There was stories about people on Coinbase who, like in the early days, got locked out of the account, then went on. This one lady was talking about how she had about 100. Her and her husband, like they saw what crypto was gonna be early. They started putting away money for themselves and for their kids' college fund in Bitcoin. Had done really well, got up to about 150 or so $1,000, and then she said they got hacked, and she went and logged in one day, and it was like $4,000 or $5,000, and basically Coinbase couldn't help her. It's like, so it's a jungle out here. I mean, it's not funny, but essentially that's kind of what they hit her with. Let me see if I can lost money. If I pull this lady story up. It's not coming up yet. I was trying to crypto nightmare. This might be it. Well, it's from 3 weeks ago. Let's see what happened. I'll blow this up a little bit.
Investors aren't the only ones cashing in on the crypto surge. Hackers are draining many accounts on Coinbase. That's the biggest crypto platform in the US. Now, users are taking aim at the company's consumer, or I should say customer service department. They say Coinbase is leaving them hanging, and hackers walk away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Eamon Javers reports in an ongoing CNBC investigation, Crypto Nightmare.
I was kind of like panicked, to tell you the truth.
Eric and Molly Richardson say they saved nearly $1.1 million
worth of cryptocurrency in a Coinbase account.
Wow.
But then
in July, Eric got an alert on his phone. The message said someone had logged onto their account. Eric clicked on the text, logged in, and soon received an email that their two-factor authentication, which verifies security settings, had been changed.
He was like in a state of shock. So I tried to help him. I tried to stay calm, and I
Sick.
Looked up Coinbase online, trying to
That's so
figure
sick.
out how to get a hold of their customer service.
Like thousands of other Coinbase customers, Richardson say they got nowhere when they tried to get immediate.
I do hear Coinbase service is trash.
Offer any kind of live phone support. Email was the only option.
And within the 20 minutes that we sent the email, somebody had done 110 different transactions, sending out about 21 Bitcoin.
In all, the hackers stole some $700,000 of the couple's savings.
Oh,
They're not the only ones.
oh,
As CNBC reported in August, cryptocurrency holders across the country have been victimized by hackers who drain their accounts. And then they can't even get anyone on the phone to resolve the issue. Coinbase said in August that it had finally set up a phone number for customers to call if their account had been
man, be careful out here.
But that doesn't seem to be fixing the problem. Customers told us the live support was useless. And it was only for accounts that are actively locked.
Trash.
So we wanted to see what would happen when the
Man, 700,000.
new customer support line.
I'm going to call and see if I can get my account finally unlocked. And then maybe should I ask if they can give me my money back?
Man.
Does answer.
Well, I got locked out of my account about 2 months ago.
That's
and I
crazy.
haven't been able to get back in. Somebody stole 21 Bitcoin out of it.
The agent tells
Ugh.
Richardson he actually doesn't have access to his case file, instead saying he should respond to a Coinbase email he'd already responded to. A Coinbase spokesperson
Wow.
says, "We recognize the challenges some of our customers have experienced with their Coinbase
Hey, man.
accounts."
These are the worst stories right here, but you need to hear them just so you understand what's going on in this space.
Eric says his big regret is not doing more to safeguard his Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink before the theft, which he thinks happened because that text alert was likely a phishing attack to steal his information.
Got it.
One option he considered but didn't follow up on was a hardware device used for the cold storage of cryptocurrencies.
I beat myself up every day because I have my friends' voices in my head. Eric, put it on cold storage.
Put it on cold storage.
Didn't.
Nicole DeSico, who helps clients secure their cryptocurrency, says cold storage is virtually hack-proof. You get a private key, which is like a password, to buy and sell crypto, and you store that key offline.
when you keep your funds in cold storage, you own those funds.
This is an important part of crypto, y'all.
They're offline.
Everybody talking about price
The
targets.
problem with even that solution is owners can lose their passwords, or something can go wrong with the device itself. As far as the Richardsons, soon after our interview, Coinbase restored access to their account. They also received a credit from Coinbase,
How much?
but nowhere near what they lost. Just $500.
Ah, damn.
It felt like they kicked sand
That's
in my
what?
face. That's what made me think, is there
You
even
can buy
anybody
plane
sitting
tickets
there at
with it.
Coinbase looking at this?
They get him for the credit $500. The man got hit for 700,000.
Savings because the company was not responsible for the hack. Customers have filed more than 12,000 complaints against the company,
Yo.
government and consumer agencies since 2016. Meanwhile, an additional 1,500 complaints have been filed just since our story aired in August.
Man, it's out of control. Listen, this is why, like, security in this space is huge. And for your top holdings, the ones that you are what they call hodling, or basically holding the Bitcoins, Ethereums, the top 5 coins. If you have those in your portfolio, like the good brother Steven Johnson just said here, and you just heard him talk about it, and you saw kind of what the device looked like. But you want to have that in the cold storage or a hard wallet. Ledger is the name of one of the wallets, and I'm just listen. The safety piece, what you don't want to happen, and based on his demeanor, he probably got some bread. And I mean, his lady said he was panicking. I mean, it's been over 2 months, so maybe he's come to grips with what's taking place. But as you learn about, because when you first get into the space and you start watching YouTube channels, especially right now, as people anticipate this last leg of this bull run and another huge pump happening, what you got to understand is that um, people are gonna excite you with these price targets, and you're gonna be looking at it like, man, I invest this much, I can make this much. But nobody's really talking about how to protect yourself in crypto on a regular basis. And I would almost encourage you to start there first. Again, I understand it. Uh and there's some work involved because you need to have a contingency plan when you put your coins on this wallet. Like your spouse, your loved ones, someone needs to know, whether you have it in a safe deposit box or whatever the case may be. Somebody needs to know how to get to this stuff, where your encrypted keys are, the code words, all that stuff. In order for you to access it, you know where it is. But if you don't tell anybody where it is, imagine having 30 Bitcoin that nobody can touch. That's happening right now. I forgot, I read an article where it said it's believed to be over $100+ billion in Bitcoin basically just lost in cyberspace because people have lost their keys, or it's a situation where the person who had the keys, something happened to them. If they pass away unexpectedly, then it's like, I know this person got 30 Bitcoin, but I can't get to it. And it's like, this is not something you can call like tech support for. You know what I'm saying? Like these keys and the way that this stuff works, especially if they put it on one of these cold wallets, it that's it. I think I showed y'all the video of the guy that had 260 million, and he had this military grade wallet with encryption, and he had 10 times to access to enter the password. On the 10th time, if he was incorrect, it would lock him out indefinitely, permanently. He would not be able to access it. But he's made more money in crypto, but he was like, I done chalked it up, I know I'm not gonna be able to get it. I was like, $260 million, man, look here. But it's just important that the people close to you understand, even if you don't tell them what it is. Like, hey, I got this. Something happened. This is where you need to go to get it. Everything that you need to know about it is right here for you to get it. And you need to let 2 or 3 people know, just in case your your first option, you and that person are together, something happens. I'm just saying, like, protect your wealth, make a plan, and yeah. But 700,000. Just imagine this, because this is what could happen. You can have your money on the exchange. You get to a millionaire status. You quit your corporate job or whatever. You're just gonna travel. Like, man, listen, I'm gonna live the life I want to live. So now you got the financial freedom to do just that. And then some hacker comes hit you- some hacker come get you for 700,000 out of the 1 point. I mean, over half of it, they got it. Now, what I'm interested in knowing is, because that's considered a sale, I mean, they shouldn't have to pay taxes. They'll be able to show that it was stolen from them, but still, like, that's wild, right? But that's important. That I know we went from the metaverse to the protection part of it. I probably should have did an entire video just on the protection. We'll go back to the metaverse in just a moment, but you gotta protect yourself in this joint, man. Uh I'm just saying. And like Steven said, like for your top coins, your important coins, you're gonna want to put them in one of them hard wallets. Yeah, one of them cold storage wallets, because you just want to ensure that it's cool. Make sure you understand everything about the wallet. One of my homeboys was just saying like, he, man, I might have to get him on here. Joe. I gotta get you. I gotta invite you on next week so we could talk about this a little bit more. But he was just telling me about how he ordered his cold storage wallet directly from the manufacturer, because you, you don't want it to have been tampered with either. So you order these wallets, but if it's coming from somewhere and you don't really know, hopefully that didn't happen. But in theory, if somebody were to corrupt it before you get it, and then you offload your coins onto a corrupted device, I hadn't heard about this happening with a lot of regularity, but that's the level of protection you got to have when we talk about $1 million. Again, this is not the bank. This is not FDIC insured. This is not, let me call up Bank of America, what happened to the money in my account. This is not how that's gonna work. If just like them folks, that man lost $700,000 and they told him to respond to an email. He got somebody on the phone and said, "Hey, yeah, man, reply to the email, dog. $700,000. I need to talk to somebody else." What happened with Coinbase is that they grew too fast. People got interested in the space. They went public. People felt comfortable with it. A ton of people onboarded by opening Coinbase accounts. And basically, they didn't have any real robust customer service in place. Almost kind of like Cash App. Cash App doesn't really have any customer service. You send some money, everything's email. Everything's email. And so that's kind of how it is with Coinbase. Uh, so again, learn about the protection piece. It's gonna take a little bit more work, but if we're talking about generational wealth, you should be wanting to protect that to the best of your ability. Whatever hard-earned money that you made that you're finna invest, I'm just saying, y'all, that's worth looking into, and that's a super important topic. That was a good video right there we just checked out. I'm gonna wrap this up in a second. I wanted to kind of get back to the metaverse a little bit, but no. I think on the next one we'll talk about some of the protection a little bit more, and then go into more detail about the wallets. But before I touch on my last piece of the metaverse and where I think this is ultimately gonna land, I just want to let you guys know. Number one, I appreciate you rocking with me on a Friday night. I hadn't really taken a sip. I told you guys I wasn't drinking that much tonight. I had a rough. I should be drinking. I had a rough week, and then I had a stomach bug for pretty much the whole week, and I'm actually just now feeling a little bit better. So, um, no liquor tonight, but I'll be back next week for sure. And we went triple cup this time. But yeah, man, let me pull this up about the metaverse. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was gonna tell y'all, you're not too late. Do get some understanding. Don't just start jumping in stuff and FOMOing your way in stuff. It's gonna be important. Again, I'm looking at starting a meetup. Be looking for that. If you want dope, crypto inspired gear, you see the ticker at the bottom of your screen. That's tickerapparel.com. Ticker TICKR apparel.com. 10% of the sales come back to you in the form of Satoshis. You're gonna need an active Coinbase or Cash App. Because when you enter it in and you make your order, I can either send you the Satoshis via Cash App or on Coinbase. So that's just gonna be the most efficient way for me to get it done. And yeah, right here. You're right. Robinhood, big traders. Now Robinhood don't got no customer service either. And see, before I got in, I had bought some crypto on Robinhood before I understood. Like even with Robinhood, the thing about Coinbase is you can actually transfer. So if you have a regular Coinbase account, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole a little bit with y'all. So if you have a regular Coinbase account and so Coinbase is a custodian, but you can move your coins off of Coinbase into a hard wallet like the brother Steven is talking about. On Cash App, you don't own that crypto at all. Like it's just trading, buying and selling. Now I did see where uh Robin Hood was going to start they were looking at starting up like their own wallet, but currently, which kind of sucks because I got some Ethereum over there, but I didn't know at the time. I was just like, man, I'm trying to get in. I knew ETH was one of the uh top two coins, and I felt comfortable. I'm just like, I already had the Robinhood account, and so I just bought it over there, not understanding that essentially I don't really own it. I can profit from it, but I don't own it. Like I can't move my ETH off of Robinhood. I have to sell it. Or of course you risk being hacked. I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna be perfectly comfortable with exiting out of my ETH during the next bear market and then getting back in. But yeah, these are things you guys have to understand about this space. It's like a lot of nuanced things going on. And I know a lot of us, especially again, talking to my people, we want somebody to do it for us. If you want to get into crypto and win in crypto, is there somebody that could take care of it for you? Sure. There's services and people offer it now. And as you see, a lot more of the older guard in terms of the people who are in control of the financial institutions, they're starting to come into the space. And you got the ETF and other things that are happening in the space where, people can kind of help you manage your crypto asset holdings. But if you want to be a purist, if you want to really understand how this space works, it's going to require you to, roll up your sleeves, get in there, understand it, so that way no one can take advantage of you. Because this is way different from like somebody can literally take these coins from you, ship them over, move them over to some sort of wallet or something, and the only thing you can do is just pay them a visit at their crib. if, if you really about that life, you might not, you might not, want that kind of smoke. But y'all, it's let me see. One more thing I wanted to show y'all about the metaverse. I can't find the video. I really wanted to show y'all that Winklevoss tower in that joint. Anyway, NFTs. Nike. Oh yeah, Nike just filed like a patent for digital assets. This stuff's gonna be huge, y'all. It don't make sense. This is how it always happens. Um, it seems radical. I'm a put the brothers coming back up here. Said people laughed at him in 2016. I probably would have laughed at him in 20. Like, bro, listen, I had somebody at work. It was a one of my coworkers, but telling me a sister was like, when Bitcoin crashed in 2018, we're talking about $3, $4, $5,000 when it was down there. I'm like, man, you should buy Bitcoin. I'm like, what is it? Like, I'm like challenging her, pushing back, like, she was right. Again, I had just sold my previous house, so I had some funds available to buy me a little bag of coins. But it's water under the bridge. You can't really live in the past. But now that I understand what's taking place, I'm positioning my resources to go full throttle into the crypto space over the next 2 to 4 years. I'm in there now, but I also understand that if you look at the gains from last year to now, a lot of the coins are already up 10x or more. Some of them 30, 40x. If you look at ETH, it's up, 20, 30x. A lot of them, Solana, all these coins, they're up huge. And so I like I said, I do believe we have another run in front of us, but a lot of over 50% of the gains have already been made. And uh I don't want to risk it trying to get that last second money and then be wrong about the market, especially if you're speculating not on some smaller coins that you're not that aware of. But all right, y'all, I won't continue to talk in circles. Real quick, I do need y'all to go ahead, smash that like button for me. Y'all been locked in, tuned in with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, smash that like button for me. Subscribe button, notification bell. I'm gonna get better with plugging that into there because I know the YouTube algorithm is listening, and so I want to make sure I'm saying that enough for me to get the play on that and get the love on that. And last thing about the metaverse, the land is gonna be huge. Big Boy talked about it on his channel. There's a documentary about Decentraland out there, and this one guy who bought some stuff back in 2018. He was talking about, I ain't selling it into at least 10 million. I said, I'm thinking to myself, dog, you're not about to get no $10 million for some virtual land. Good luck. He gonna get it. Now that I look at it, he definitely gonna get it. If he hold out long enough, somebody's gonna do it. When you look at what these NFTs are selling for, digital art, which are essentially JPEGs, oh, he gonna get 10 million for that land. So it's a new world being developed, and I'm gonna go pull up some of the coins the brother put in the chat. I know specifically about Mana. I got to do my due diligence on the other two. I've heard of Sandbox. Axie Infinity is another one. But yeah, it's gonna be a ton of money made in this space, and you want to stay locked in because I'm gonna be here to help you break it down in a real fundamental, a real way, uh, whereby you're gonna understand what it is you're getting involved in. You're gonna be excited about it. You'll be able to explain to your family and friends why they should be involved. Look for more information regarding the meetup coming soon. That's gonna be huge. It's gonna be important. Black people, especially everybody, but especially black people, we get in this space and we help our families out by understanding what's going on in the space. All right, y'all. Until next week, peace, love, and blessings. I'm gonna try to start dropping more videos uh throughout the week. Once I'm gonna have to switch some stuff up at work. It's just not working for me. But I yeah, I'm gonna try to. The stuff that matters most is this, me talking to y'all. The stuff that excites me most is investing in stocks, crypto, business, talking about business, and helping people. And so uh y'all, again, appreciate y'all showing love. Hit that like button. We're gonna look to get to this thing full time over the next year. We're gonna throw a big goal out there. So my New Year's resolution, this is it. We ain't got that. My New Year's resolution is to lock in, and this time next year we get the count up, we get the subscribers up, we can get to this thing full time, and I can fire my employer. All right, y'all. Until the next time, peace, love, and blessings, man. Y'all take care. It's love.